What's Islam? That's a question many people are asking today. And really, Islam is the topic of many discussions. Yet very often, people don't really have the essence of the meaning. Even Muslims themselves are not really sure how to translate it. The word Islam is the only word not translated from the Quran when they bring it to the English language. And there's a reason for that. When we go to the Arabic dictionary, we find that it takes a series of words to represent the concept of what aslama means. Aslama is the verb for the noun Islam. It carries a meaning of surrender, submission, obedience, sincerity, and peace. We understand about surrender, to give in, submit, and that's to go along with something, to obey the commandments, and then to be sincere. Now we could stop right there for a moment and think about it. If it requires sincerity, then there's no possible way that it can be forced on anyone. Because if anyone was forced to do anything, then it would no longer be sincerity. Thus, we realize the concept of Islam being spread by a sword or any type of force is impossible, because Islam requires sincerity. Finally, the word peace. This is a peace that the person has in their heart after they have done the other four, meaning that they have surrendered, submitted in obedience and sincerity, and now they're going to be in peace with whatever transpires or comes out of it. There's another word related to it, Muslim. For you and I, we might not think the word Muslim would be related to Islam, but that's because in Arabic you use a prefix, mu, before a verb to denote the one performing the action, whereas in English we use the letters er, as a suffix at the end of the word to represent the one who does the action, like walk, talk, think, And then in Arabic you put mu ahead of it, adhan, mu'adhan, one who calls the prayer, salli, musalli, the one who prays, safar, musafir, the one who travels. This helps us to understand that word, Islam. But what does Islam imply? We talked about the meaning, the etymology of the word, but what does it really imply, and what is it about? What does Islam have to do with Allah? Is Allah God? Is there a purpose behind all of this? Who is this God? Who's the Ilah? And in fact, in Islam, the most important subject is Allah. Allah does not exactly translate into the word God. And that's because the word God in English only has one form, God. Whereas in Arabic, the word Allah comes from Ilah. And Ilah is anything worshipped. Anything can be a god, a rock, a stick, a stone, a bone, things made with the hand, things that you could put out on a shelf or carry along with you and worship. Could be the stars, the moon, the universe. Whatever a person worships, that's their Ilah. Even their position in life, who they are, their degrees, their job, their wealth, their position as a human being. All of these things are ilaha, gods. But in English, you don't have a proper noun for the one and only God. So what they do is take the word God and make a big G out of it and say this is the proper noun. Whereas in Arabic, you can take ilah and then you have Allah, and it doesn't just mean the God, because that would be al-ilah. But Allah is the actual name of the one and only God. And you don't have to worry about capital letters in Arabic because there aren't any. You can hear it clearly, Allah, the one and only to be worshipped. Now, is this the God of the Arabs as Muslims? Yes. What about Arab Christians? Did you know there are Arab Christians?